FX presents the Indu Podcast with your host, T. Sterling Watson.
Good morning, Indubians. I'm T. Sterling Watson.
And I'm Kortney.
This is the Indu Podcast, where morning drive time meets late night talk show, and we aim to entertain, enlighten, and provide an auditory escape. Thank you for stopping by and pressing play. How are you doing today, Kortney?
I am fabulous. How are you?
I am ecstatic. There's a word for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's like a $10 word.
I think so. I'm ecstatic because I'm on vacation, so I have not had to...
Oh, well.
Yeah. That's partly why, yeah, because I don't have to deal with people at work. Not that I dislike people at work, just in case they're listening. I'm not talking about you, whoever you are.
Of course not them who's listening.
Right.
They're obviously the cool ones.
Exactly, because you listen, and I love you, and I thank you. And, I'd pat your head or something. I don't know what I do. I don't know, give you a lollipop. something to signify that I do appreciate you listening, dear coworker that may or may not be listening. So yes, it's all good. I guess before we get into anything, I just want to have we've got breaking news. So can you help me out there, please, Kortney? Yes, just in, I guess maybe at this point, maybe at least 2 hours ago, and I'm breaking the wall again. We're recording this on Tuesday, August the 20th, and I know this goes out 21st, but Sony is cutting ties with the MCU and taking Spider-Man away.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
I did not know that. Ugh.
Yeah, that literally just came in through the wire. I haven't been able to read like the entire article because it is plastered everywhere, but like I haven't had the chance yet to read it to understand why this is happening. But negotiations fell through between Feige and Sony, and I don't know.
Gosh.
This seems like a very stupid move to...
It seems like a stupid move.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because if I read one of these headlines correctly, I believe Far From Home just crossed $1 billion, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's over profit sharing dispute. That's what they have a problem with. But still, I don't know. I mean, it's really way too early to tell what's going to happen next. If Sony will continue the franchise, just cut off from the rest of the MCU participants, which seems really weird and really difficult to do because this version of Spider-Man is so integrated within the MCU universe.
The MCU.
Right. So I don't know how you can continue unless we do, which your favorite thing is to reboot it again.
Oh my God. This would be what? If they were to reboot, this would be like the fourth in, let's say, 10 years.
Right.
Maybe more than that, but too close.
And considering this is Sony, like this is a Sony product, then this would be their fifth Spider-Man outing because that would include into the Spider-Verse. Oh,
right. I don't really count. I mean, I'm talking about Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Right.
Like I'm good with the. Of course, I love that Miles Morales is now like, because he's not MCU, but he's for sure canon. But I'm just glad he's out there. But I don't know. I'm talking about Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Live action.
Live action. Yeah, because we're not talking about cartoons or anything like that. But live action, it's getting ridiculous, people.
It is. But I mean, who's to say what's happening, what's going to happen? It's just, I don't know. I feel like there's a collective groan amongst fans all over because finally we got a Spider-Man that we like, that is doing well. It's, perfect, basically. But yeah, I don't know. I guess when it comes to money, because that's really what it comes down to. That's their issue. So
I get that, but I also just, I mean, it's just frustrating.
It is
really frustrating.
As a fan,
and I wonder,
it's frustrating. It is. Yeah.
And I wonder why it's Spider-Man who's gotten so much unrest. Like, I'm sure there are other similar negotiations that have fallen through and you know, been redeemed, stuff that we don't even see. But I just feel like Spider-Man has gotten such a bad rap on the negotiation table. And at least he's the one that has been rebooted a gajillion times, and this is frustrating. I don't even know. It's just frustrating.
You know what's going to have to happen? Like, Disney's going to have to buy Sony. That's probably what's going to have to happen. Like, it's like, you know what? We're tired of your shenanigans. We can just buy your company, and we don't have to worry about this fight. And we'll just fire the people that are giving us trouble.
I don't know if that's going to do it.
No.
I just don't know
at
this point.
Is that too megalomania for them to do that?
No, because I don't put nothing past Disney. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Again, it's fresh news. Like, we don't really know exactly where it's going to go from here. But as far as we know, I mean, I think what I also read, like, they had maybe 2 more movies planned with Spider-Man within
okay.
But
okay.
I don't know if that's on the table or if it's just going to be strictly Sony, or maybe they'll have a Spider-Man and Venom team up maybe. I don't know. So I don't know. That'll be really weird for like Tom Holland Peter to show up and not mention Tony or Happy, or any of the other Avengers. So yeah, it's so yeah, that's some breaking news that I wanted to share with you, because I'm like, yeah, that just happened. So yeah, so moving on, because I'm trying to figure out where to move on from that, because I'm seeing other news updates, and it's like, well, this can't happen now, because there's like this is like 15 hours ago, like every major MCU movie twist ranked. Oh yeah, it has nothing to do with news. The other thing is just more stuff from directors of Endgame revealing things that may have happened. That's been an ongoing thing. I do have the Blu-ray. I haven't watched it yet, but I do have the Blu-ray.
You have? Oh, do you?
Yeah, I bought it earlier this week or last week. The days have been running together, so I did an unorthodox thing, and I decided to start my vacation in the middle of a week and then take off the entire week. So, you know, just mixing things up.
Hey, I'm not hating on you at all.
Oh, thanks. Because I'm one of those weirdos that needs a couple days to realize, oh, wait a second, I'm on vacation, before I really start to enjoy the vacation. So that was my thought process on that.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Because it's hard to turn it off sometimes. Yeah. But let's see. What else do we have on the docket to discuss? Well, we talked about vacation, and I am resting and relaxing, but I'm also going forth with my other business ventures, or business, as I sometimes like to spell it out, thanks to Robin Thede and the nightly show, which has been canceled years ago. I don't know why, because it was such a brilliant comedy series for us Black folk. But
you're not like bitter about it or anything.
I'm not bitter about it. No. I mean, I haven't been, wishing that we still had a Black perspective comedy satire. I'm fine. I've moved on. Yeah, but Robin Thede, she was I believe a writer and probably even a correspondent, and she had, it's a joke that I still think about, but I'm not bitter about it, but I still think about it, that she had Bidness magazine, spelled Bidness. So just talking about all things Bidness. So I've been running with that ever since I've seen it. So shout out to Robin Thede. I love you very much. I've only seen one episode so far of a Black Lady sketch show. Which I want to go back and revisit, because apparently they have sketches or little details. You're going to love this, Kortney, but they have little details that like correspond to maybe other sketches within that episode as well as the next episode.
Ooh.
So like
Easter eggs. I love it.
Exactly. So I need to go back and watch the first episode, then continue. I think they're probably like on episode 3 by now. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. So shout out to them because I'm just excited for the show. Like finally,
I know.
Yeah,
it's pretty exciting, and to see like the range of folks who are going to be on there, or I guess a variety of folks who are going to be on there in and out. It's exciting.
It is. And I'm hopefully I will have a day where I will just catch up on everything, but it's just been busy with my business. And I'll just say it now. I'll officially have 2 clients already. So I'm excited.
Ooh,
yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. So I'm in the process of designing things and building things. And then eventually one client would be interested in the future to start his own podcast. So I'm ready. I'm ready to take that on.
Now, what are you going to be doing for the client who wants to start his podcast?
I will basically be producing it. I will help him set up things such as proper recording, give him maybe a format to follow. Unless he's doing something already and we just incorporate what he's already recorded into a podcast format and help him launch it or a place to host it, do all that cleanup stuff. And then we'll run a regular kind of thing and where he records it, gives it to me. I work my magic and put it out in the world for him. So for a fee, of course, because that's business. That's how it works. So yeah.
That's awesome. Woohoo!
Yes, I am excited. But for now, he just needs a website. Actually, a couple websites, but he just needs a website. So we'll start with that, and we'll get there. We'll get there. So yeah, I am excited. Things are going well. How are things going with you? Because I know you've got, or can you talk about it yet? I don't want to put you on a spot if you're not ready to discuss.
With the BO, okay?
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So what are you up to?
Well, I am working on a book, my book, and we are in the crunch time because so I was a little bit behind schedule. Initially, my book, Spellbound Station, was supposed to be completed in terms of like me editing it. It's gone through a couple of drafts and stuff and ready for my beta readers on September 1st or thereabouts, like September 3rd, I think. That is not going to be the case, but what I'm going to do is have half of the manuscript ready. And you know, it'll be edited and ready for the betas at, you know, half of the manuscript rather than the whole, because I just need a little bit more time to finish editing and revising and rewriting and writing in some cases, but we are still moving forward. It's going to still work out. But yeah, I'm getting it ready for a contest. I guess it's considered a contest, but it's a thing called Pitch Wars, which is a 3-month mentorship program. So I would be submitting my manuscript for the chance to be mentored by someone who's gone through Pitch Wars. Well, I think you've either had to have gone through Pitch Wars and have been a mentee before, or you, I'm not sure the qualifications, honestly, but the folks who have been chosen to be mentors, you know, there's an application process. They have to show, you know, why they're qualified, all kinds of stuff. And so basically it's a 3-month mentorship program, Pitch Wars is. And so if I'm chosen, a mentor or team of mentors would take me under their wing. We would whip my manuscript into shape and get it ready, even more ready for not only publication, but in February, there's an agent showcase where the mentees pitch to agents. They pitch their, you know, now super polished manuscript to agents. And so there's been a lot of success stories with that. There's been a lot of published authors that come from this. So my thing is I just really appreciate the chance to kind of have one-on-one help to hold my hand through this process, because I don't know what I'm doing outside of the book writing part, but so it's exciting and it's nerve-wracking. I'm very, very nervous about it. But I was like looking at my chapters today, because I'm like waist deep in revising and reordering and cutting, and just, it's crazy. But I was finally looking at all the chapters today, and I realized like how far it's come, my book, how far the story has come. And, you know, I'm really, for the most part, enjoying this process. It's a little bit nerve-wracking because I'm on a very tight deadline, and there's, you know, life happening still.
Right.
So it's a little intense and a little stressful, but it's very nice to see that the book is actually coming along. This is something that I started a little over 2 years ago. So it's really awesome to finally see it take some type of shape. And it's not just an amorphous blob in my head.
Right.
So
it's not just like a hobby or anything either for you. It's something you literally worked on, and now you can. Oh yeah. You're so much closer to that.
Oh yeah. Yes. So it's very surreal. You know, I'm, you know, staying positive that hopefully I'll get chosen, but you know, that's not guaranteed. So my thing is, at the end of the day, I will have a finished and polished manuscript. And that is just, that is getting me through the tough days. And the days where I just don't wanna anymore.
Right.
So, that is where my focus and all of my time is going to, most of my time. So yeah, it's a book that's being born as we speak.
That is very exciting. And I'm very excited for you and happy and proud of you too. Sorry, that's the word I was searching for. I'm very proud of you because...
I'll take all the other ones too, though.
Oh yeah, I am excited for you as well. But proud because you really have stuck through this, and I'm one of those people that you would kind of figure
complain to.
Well, okay, complain. I was trying to go with gentle, but yes, complain to. Yeah.
No, keep it real.
Yeah, because there's a lot of frustration involved, and just a lot.
Oh my gosh, so much.
But you continue to persist and push, and right now it's the revision stage, which for me is a little terrifying. But you know, you're doing it. So.
It's a lot terrifying, but it's actually less terrifying. It's more tedious. It's more tedious than I kind of set out to do, but a lot about my novel has changed. Like in every other draft, but this one, I have, I wrote it in first person point of view. So like the character would be like, I walked into the room and blah, blah, blah. It was first person. And so later on, like when I was, you know, rewriting and reorganizing and all kinds of just re-examining the story as a whole, I realized how limited I was in that point of view, and with just sticking with one character and sticking only with that character's head, in that character's head. And so that was a really scary thing to me, because I honestly only really write in first person, and I don't know why I never really wrote in any other point of view, but it just seemed it made me feel more present to the story and to the character. But I was like, okay, but what I'm trying to do and the way that I want to go about it doesn't flow with that. So I made the difficult decision to change the tenses, which means a whole lot of stuff. Got to change how it's, you know, change the pronouns and things, and I have to change the point of view, which in most cases I have not done yet. So it's a lot, and it's tedious, and but I'm learning so much, and I really do feel, even though it is a bit scary, this revising stage or revision stage, I do feel like I'm coming out with a much stronger story and much more refined. So that's how I have to look at it. Just that this stage is necessary. and it is necessary to make the best piece possible.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And it will matter in the end because it'll show. I'm like, okay, this reads better and people will,
It had better.
Mm-hmm. And you are doing this, you're doing all this of your own volition. I just wanted to work in volition because that's today's word of the day is
Word watch.
Volition, simple definition for, wait a second. I had it right here. Where did it go? Oh, the faculty or power of using one's will. The reason why I chose this word is because it kept coming up in, what was the last time I heard it? I don't remember, but my favorite use is from the IT crowd. And Moss uses it because he's terrified of a spider that has come into a room that he's locked in. And he's waiting for the spider to leave of his own volition,
gently,
rather than him trying to kill it or something. It's to some that effect, but just I could hear his voice saying that and using that word, and that was the first time I've ever heard the word, and I'm like, I love this word, I need to use it. And I mean, I've loved it for years. I just never used it until now. So there we have it. Volition.
This is actually one of those words that I use on a, I don't want to say regular basis, but it's part of my normal vocabulary.
You know, as you say,
I'm a nerd, though.
You are a nerd, yes. A beloved nerd, and we appreciate you. And I do feel like I may have probably at least heard you say it. I may not have acknowledged it because I'm like, oh, yeah, it's just Kortney using that word because she would know it. But yes, we're shining a spotlight on it today because I just felt it's one of those words that just maybe more people can use it. So
I think so. It's amazing.
It is because it is one of those words that you don't hear that often. And if you were to put a price tag on it, like how much would that word be worth to you?
I guess because I'm so used to it and it's part of my, like I actually use it. I would only give it like $5.
Really? 5? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking
only because I'm so used to it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, because you said you're so used to it, so it comes up in your vernacular regularly. For me, it doesn't, but I appreciate when I hear it. So for me, I was going to give it like 50.
Ooh, really?
It feels like a $50 word to me because.
Well, that makes me feel good. Like that I use it. Like should be getting paid to use this word. Especially at $50 a pop. I
know. Imagine if we got paid to use words like it was like we were like some kind of sponsorship or something.
I know. Oh, I bet that's going to be a thing in the future for real though.
I mean, that would help.
We do that with brands, you know.
I mean, really, that would help people. That would help maybe the education system or whoever is sponsoring a child to make sure that they use this word regularly. We would have smarter. The things would be better. We would be more cultured, more intelligent, I think, in my opinion.
Well, we hope.
We hope, yes. Because still people will end up being in places of power that did not go through this program and just, still got their way because probably money, more than likely.
Yep.
See, I try to have hope and I killed it just that quickly. That cynicism of mine. But I do have other good news for our Black History fact.
Black History facts.
We are going to shine another spotlight, because we have lots of spotlights here at the Indube Network, on Simone Biles. And
woohoo!
Yes. Now, you familiar with what she did? I mean, this happened a couple days ago, so.
Yes, with the thing. Okay, so I don't know what she did. Like, I don't know the name of it. I mean, but she did like this sick routine that I think nobody, like, she's the first in history to ever do it, I think.
Yeah, she's the first woman to ever do oh man, I had it right here and now the page is gone.
Triple double back. I don't know, something.
You're very close, yes. Triple double and, oh, wait, nope. Where's the rest of it? The triple double. Where is the rest? But yes, it's a triple double. That's the part I always kind of caught on. I was like, yes, a triple double. Show it to me. And I still don't even know what it is. like they put it in slow motion, and I'm like, okay, where's the triple part? Where's the double part? And it's a lot. So I'm looking at the most recent article. Let's see. She made history by winning her 6th national title, and she's only the second woman to reach that level of dominance, and the first in nearly 70 years. Wow.
It's crazy.
And extended her win streak to 20 consecutive victories in the all-around.
Wow.
Okay. So first on
She's
the bounce,
amazing.
She's very amazing. Like, I think we'll need another word besides amazing, because I don't know, that feels like it's not strong enough for her.
Yeah.
Let's see.
She's a beast.
A beast, yes, she is a beast. First on the balance beam, she became the first gymnast to land a double twisting double somersault. That's all in bold letters. Okay, I think this is it. She became the first woman to land a triple twisting double somersault. Yeah, that's quite a bit. So many elements were impressively packed into both moves that you have to watch them multiple times and in slow motion to truly appreciate what Biles did. I agree. I still don't know what I'm looking at, but it's beautiful. Like, just
it's a bunch of just flipping around and not twirling so much, but
twisting.
Like, twisting in the air, and I mean it's great, but I am not versed in gymnastics.
Gymology.
Gymology, yeah.
Yeah, gymology.
And so, yeah, I mean, it looks really awesome. I just have no, I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's still very exciting to see her just do the thing and be great again, because when she first came on the scene, she was amazing and she blew our minds, and it's so good to see her still in the game and still like dominating and being even better. I love it.
Right.
I love a resilient queen.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I don't have words. Like, I don't know. I like watching gymnastics sometimes, but I don't know the moves. But for them to be able to do what they do in midair and then land it, and then like with her just having all this swagger after they land, because like, yeah, I did that, because that's what those moves mean after they figures, like, they present to, I guess, the judges and then everybody else.
Yep.
That thing. And the way that she did it, like, yeah, you win. You win all of the gold, all the golds, because we can't top that. Everybody else go home. You're done. Well, except for silver and bronze, but still, everybody else. Actually, no, take those back. Give it to her too, because you might as well.
Well, they can't, so they have to give it to somebody else.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, what I want to know is if she went last or she went first. Hopefully, maybe she went last, so that way other people who had to follow her, if they had to follow her, would be like, you know what, just never mind. It's like, we're just competing for silver and bronze at this point, because there's. I mean, she won. She won gym, all of it, just all of it. But yeah, gymnasts, they're like the peak athletes, I think. I remember someone saying that because they have to work their entire body. Whereas
that makes sense.
Yeah, whereas like basketball, football, they do a lot of that too, but they don't have to, I don't want to say they don't have to work as hard, but it's different for gymnasts. Like it's more.
I get. Well, they have to like. So I remember watching that other. There's this guy who, what do they call him? The hood gymnast. But I was just kind of watching him because the stuff that he did, especially like with the thing where he's in the rings in the air, and he's like using his. Well, I'm sure he's using all the muscles, but like you can really see him using his arm muscles the most, because he'll like have both of his arms out to his sides. His body is, just either pointing straight up or straight back horizontally. I mean, but I'm sure he has to work every single one of his muscles just to stay still. So I could see that. And then like with Simone and all the other ones that are like tumbling and stuff on the floor, they are like doing a million twists and turns and stuff midair. Like, how do you, what, huh?
You're right.
So, I mean, I get that.
Flips and balance beams and all the things. All of it.
All the things. Mm-hmm.
All around, literally, which is what it's called. But yeah, So Simone Biles, you just remain being a beast and just dominating at all things. So
you're amazing.
Simply amazing. Simply amazing. With that, we will take a quick break. And when we return, we're going to go to space because it's scary. But and there's scary things that happen there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when we come right back to the Indu podcast, space.
The Indu podcast.
Hey there, friend. Enjoying this podcast production? I bet your sweet buttery face you are. I bet you're also thinking, how can I support this show and look awesome doing it? Aside from telling your best pal and all their kin, you can head over to Indube.com, and 2 clicks later, after hitting the store tab, you'll find yourself with several fun and fancy swag brought to you by the fine folks at the Indube Network and T-Public. If you're a fan of Indube, Food Fight, or anything under the Indubian sun, you can find it plastered on mugs, hoodies, pillows, cases, bags, and of course, t-shirts. Hurry on over now, and you may catch a sale with all tees 30% off. Seriously, they have sales like every other week. So head on over to Indube.com or tpublic.com. That's TEEPUBLIC.com and type Indube in the search bar and continue to pod with the best.
And welcome back to the Indu podcast. We are here to talk about space and spacey things, as we kind of almost regularly do here, but space. But first, before we get into a topic that I really want to get to, I want to let you know, I don't know if you caught on the news, that a black hole devouring a neutron star caused ripples in space and time.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yes. There was a black hole. Wait a second. It's the Australian National University, or ANU, which participated in the research, explains that a cataclysmic event. Ooh, cataclysmic. I like that.
That's a good word.
It is a good word.
That's a $10 word.
10. Okay. Yeah, 10. Okay, because there's cataclysms. Whatever. It was detected on August 14th of this year by the gravitational wave discovery machines in the U.S. and Italy, which I do remember. I think last year was finally put into place, and they discovered something else that happened. I think 2 neutron stars swirling around each other, and it was disrupting space and time. So yeah, where they discover ripples, but that was last year. So yes, they discovered these ripples, or detected these ripples from the space and time from an event that happened about, get your calendars out, 8,550 million trillion kilometers away from Earth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean rulers. Sorry.
I don't even know that number. Like
you can't fathom that distance?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So about 900... Oh, this is where you need your calendar. I'm sorry. About 900 million years ago, this black hole ate a very dense star known as a neutron star, like Pac-Man. So like Pac-Man, snuffing out the star instantly. So I guess this didn't even have the chance to like kind of be entered into the disk, the accretion disk, I believe it's called. Sometimes you see that spinning like fiery disk. Well, you know how they do on the computer graphics. Sometimes the star will be eaten slowly that way, but apparently this one was just gobbled up like it didn't have a chance.
Man, that's a little scary.
It is. The fact that it just took it out in one foul swoop rather than slowly feeding on it. like, we tend to see. Well, I don't want to say we see, but what normally tends to happen. See if there's any more information. Well, scientists have never detected a black hole smaller than 5 solar masses or a neutron star larger than about 2.5. Okay, I'm already lost in the math here. Based on this experience, we're very confident that we just detected a black hole gobbling up a neutron star. So they also acknowledged that the slight possibility that the swallowed object was a very light black hole, which also kind of makes a little bit of sense because I think the next step in a neutron star would be a black hole. So, yeah, it's a whole lot of space terrorism that's happening out there. But yeah, just stay away because black holes are scary, and they hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your son, hide your moon, hide everything because black holes.
The black hole is out here trying to eat everybody up.
Yeah. So watch your back. Meanwhile, speaking of space, I don't know if I actually said space like I was supposed to when we do the space segment, but that was our space segment. So now, continuing with space, you and I recently watched a movie. Because of your, what is the word I want to use? I wanted to say goading, but it wasn't really that. Anyway, you you strongly recommended.
Bullying, maybe? Did I bully you?
Not really. It wasn't too much of a bully. No, it was
persuaded you gently.
Gently persuading. I'm gonna have to look up the word because I think I want to. Forlorn? Is it forlorn? No, it's not that because that means pitifully sad and abandoned or lonely, which is probably what you would if you're in the theater watching this movie because you'd be by yourself watching this movie. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's going to come back to me. But anyway, we watched the movie Jupiter Ascending, and yeah. What are your thoughts on this movie before we dive in?
I just
a long sigh.
I mean, they had so many good people in it. I think it could have been really great, but it just wasn't. It was a very expensive looking crap show.
Implore was the word I was looking for. I'm sorry. Implore.
Implore.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But go on. I'm sorry.
It was a cluster, and it made my teeth itch, like how much they missed the mark.
Well, I will say with this, what I think I realized what it is with the I really need to get their name right because I keep wanting to call them the bank, Wachovia. There's a bank called Wachovia.
Wachowskis.
Wachowskis. I think it's Wachowskis. Okay.
Wachowski. I think it is the Wachowskis. Yes. Yeah.
I feel like the Wachowskis. Wow, I can't even say it now. Wachowskis.
The Wachowskis.
Wachowskis. Yes, the Wachowskis. Their strong suit is, I think, a limited series, like Sense8, because there's so much that they want to say in their piece. They need a long form medium in which to tell their stories.
That's a good way to put it.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Because that's a much more eloquent way of calling what I call a cluster. Because it was so much going on, and there were so many different ways to there were so many different tracks to follow, and
yes, there was. I'm
wow. So we're back in space now, and then we're on Earth, so we're not with Jupiter, who's the main character. We're not. It just so much. there
is
was so many layers, and then now it was a pretty long movie, wasn't it? Like 2.5 hours, maybe?
I think it was like either 2 or 2. It was actually 2 hours because I was at the radio station and I figured like, okay. I can get this done. I know I'm going to have to take a couple breaks to go on air or do whatever. So theoretically, I can watch this movie within 3 hours. I only got through 1 hour or rather, let me put it this way. It took me 4 hours to watch 1 hour. Yes. So I didn't actually finish the movie until a couple days later, or rather yesterday, when I had to go back. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, and then there's parts I thought maybe I'd rewind maybe like 15 minutes to try to regather everything I needed. I'm like, you know what? This is too much. I don't want to watch these 15 minutes. Let me just get as close as where I left off as possible and continue from there, because so much is happening. Why it needs to be a series or a short or limited series is because it needs that time to build the world. Because it's a very
and develop it. It's a very dense world, which I mean, I feel like there's a lot of care that was in consideration with the world building and stuff, but the execution just wasn't there.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot that I missed because I was watching it, but I'm sure I missed a lot because so much was happening and it wasn't explained and it was moving pretty quickly, and it didn't connect me. It didn't pull me in. And so I'm sure I spaced out a touch here and there. I'm sure I did.
I'm pretty sure I did as well, because there was like booms and crashes, explosions, things happening. I mean, the action they've always done well with. Like they've always, because we can always look to The Matrix. We can look to V for Vendetta. And even Speed Racer, which I've already made my claim about that. And even watching it a second time, I still stand by it. It's still crap to me. Don't care what any of you heathens say. I do not like that movie. It's not terrible, but I don't like it. So deal with it. I mean, people had the nerve to call it a masterpiece. I'm like, really?
Ooh.
That's their masterpiece? I beg to differ. Strongly differ. Anyway, one of the things that really stood out to me, like why this needed more time, is because how quickly Jupiter fell in love with Cain, and she had only less than a day.
Girl, I was looking at Jupiter like, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, this man who came out of nowhere, right? Specifically outer space nowhere, who's talking about he knows all about you, girl. If you don't sit down, why?
Right.
I mean, and it was like worse than even in like Disney movies where they fall in love within 2 seconds. But I don't know. I guess I can suspend disbelief a little bit because it's a Disney, movie, and it's, I don't know, animated. So it's a little, it's expected as part of the norm with a Disney movie. But like she just.
Because I think there was some betrayal that happened at some point, and she didn't want to see him anymore. And then all of a sudden they're back to being in love. I'm like, wait a second, this is all happening way too fast. And that's around the time I started realizing like this would work so much better if this was a series. So we can build up to her actually feeling something for him. And then, that making that connection really feel legit. And then like, okay, now I believe that you love him because of X, Y, and Z, not because you just went from X to Z. And I'm still wondering why. So there we have it.
I don't even remember a betrayal on his part.
Well,
and then falling out at some point, I do not remember that.
There was some part, this was like after she realized that she was royalty. I don't even know where to begin explaining how all of that happened. And, like, why are bees reacting to her? Like, I know they explained it. They recognize royalty. I got it.
Yeah.
That's weird, but I got it. The fact that she could just like flap her wings and then the bees respond to that. Okay. Does that play again later? No, it does not.
No, it never comes back. So I thought it was a really neat thing. And then, I have a very special place in my heart for bumblebees, and we should save them because they keep us as planet Earth going. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to do something with the bees and how, the bees are going to help save the planet or something. It was just a really cool, 10 minutes or whatever because the man lived in a house of bees, which is, I didn't understand that either. Like, why are you like, cause the bee hives were also in the house. And I'm like,
Were they? That's okay. Yeah, I forgot they were in the house.
They were. No, because they were all on the outside of the house, and they're like huge beehives. And I'm like, they're just walking around like these beehives not even there. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go in the house, and they're everywhere. And then there's I think they used the bees as like a very thin plot device because
very thin.
There was one very, very thin because there was one point where the bad guy showed up to the house that she was at, and so like they kept buzzing around them. So that was kind of like their alarm system. And if that was their purpose, okay, but they never actually explained it that way. It kind of worked out that way in the movie and in the story, but like they never, if the way they explained the bees reacting to her was because she was royalty, but they never like talked about why there were so many bees. Why were the hives inside the house? Like,
why is your house covered in bees? Why are so many bees? Why are you there?
Yes. So it's just like little things like that were brought up this one time, but you never heard of it again. And
I just don't understand. Her daughter. Like his daughter, I don't think we saw her again after we left that house. I think she was referenced.
I don't think so either.
I don't think, yeah. So,
because didn't she have to go to the hospital or something? Or no, she left for some reason.
The daughter?
She left. The daughter like drove off in the truck or something for some reason, right?
I missed that part. I missed her leaving. I may have zoned. I was at work at the time, so I may have not been paying attention for that.
Or they just dropped the ball on that too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really want to watch it again to find out where she went.
I know. And that's the thing. Like, I keep thinking of, like, because I keep having all these questions that pop up in my head. Like, so what? Why did she say that? Why did he do this? Why did she almost marry him?
I know.
Isn't that his mom? And I want to know these answers, but not enough to actually go watch the movie again. So I'm in a conundrum. I have to like
I would do outside research rather than watch the movie. Right. And because I feel like if this movie is like maybe 2.5 hours, then there's at least maybe 4 hours that's still on the cutting room floor because they had to cut so much out. If they even shot it, I don't know.
Yeah, they may not have shot it.
Because
may not have made it.
Yeah, there's some storytelling where they don't hold your hand, but there's also storytelling where they leave out entire pieces that would make things make more sense.
That are vital. Yes. Yeah, vital to the actual story. Yeah. Right.
Like who's working for who's betraying who, because
why.
Right. Because at the top of it, it's a like 3 siblings, I believe, who are, I guess, vying for the throne, I think. And they're all against each other, but also they also want the Earth to harvest life?
Humans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they wanted Earth. Like, so apparently in galactic, like, royalty, you trade Earth, or no, not just Earth, but planets as your currency, or like you can own entire planets.
Mm-hmm.
And so apparently the siblings are trying to go for Earth because they harvest people, similar to the Matrix, but they harvest people to like stay young or something, or to live forever or something, because like they can live for a long time, like thousands of years, even though they're human, but they can live for thousands of years. But I thought that they were growing the people like somewhere else. I thought that they could like breed them wherever they were. I don't understand. Like, are they stealing people from, like, stealing humans from Earth?
Sure. Or that's kind of what I gather. Like, they're taking people, but they're like maybe sucking their essence out into these tubes because Jupiter broke one. And
she broke one. She was pissed, and she was like, yeah, because he had just told her that it's like 100 people to make the one tube, and so she, like, being an idiot, dropped it, and so she's like, oh my god, because basically all those people died for no reason. Well, they died for no reason anyway, but at least they kind of had a reason before, but she, like, she screwed it up. So, but yeah, I don't understand. I don't know.
I don't know either. There was one line, and I don't know if you caught it, but it really, like, it gave me the whole dog confused dog head tilt thing because
Yeah.
at one point Jupiter introduced herself to someone and she was like, "Call me Jupe." When has anyone in this movie called her Jupe?
Not man one.
Right. And even whoever
Not
she was talking
once.
to, no one called her Jupe. It's like, where did this come from? Who is calling you Jupe? Why are you just now trying to start a nickname? What's happening? Why?
Stop trying to make fetch happen. That's what I thought. I mean, yes.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I do know. I remember I was at work and I was actually looking at some other screens and all of a sudden she said, "Call me Jupe." And then I just did like a whole record scratch because I'm like, wait a second. No one has called you Jupe so far. Everyone has called you Jupiter or maybe Hoopiter or something with maybe some Russian accent, whoever else is in her family because they keep going back and forth. Oh, that was fine. I was fine with that. But then like, what are you doing? What's going on? Stop this.
Also, do we know why? Okay, this is going to sound bad, but do we know why they're Russian? I thought that there was a reason.
I think at the very beginning, her father may have been doing like research there, and then maybe fell in love with like her mother. So
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of that, like how it started, was fine. Like I didn't have any issues. It's just when it started getting into the, not even to the lore, but like as soon as they started trying to take her and like bring her to space and like how comfortable she was like being in space and being taken.
Yes, ma'am. You like, I don't even think you've been outside of your hometown and you're off planet on a whole different like part of the universe, the infinite universe.
Mm-hmm.
And they talking about you royalty and you about to inherit the earth and you're just like taking it like, excuse me?
Yeah.
What? Huh?
I do want to give props though, because, and this goes back to what you were saying before, where everything like the set pieces they look good. The fights, choreography, you know, it was what it was. I didn't complain. But just the fact that they were living in Jupiter in the storm, like in the red eye or the red dot.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Like they found it. I mean, it's like they did bring some science to it and that how treacherous those storms are. So it is very dangerous, but they have a means of surviving within Jupiter. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
The concept, I suppose, but
yeah,
there's just the rest of it, us actually getting there. And then I don't know, there was just a lot to get through, like getting through like a storm in Jupiter, I suppose. Like all aspects of Jupiter have been mentioned, I guess, except for maybe naming the Roman god Jupiter, but everything else, the zodiac sign of Jupiter, that's how she was born then. Let's name her Jupiter because that's the sign she's under, and the actual planet. So I think that's the only thing they're missing is just, I think the god Jupiter and probably Sailor Jupiter showing up somewhere, maybe on some lunchbox. Get all the Jupiters.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh no, there isn't one. I'm saying they should have put one in there because.
Oh yeah.
Because they might as well.
Dang, I thought that was real.
No,
that would have almost made me rewatch the movie.
Almost. And the only reason that came up is because when I posted my tweet earlier about us talking about this movie, I did put in Ascending Jupiter or Jupiter Ascending, and Sailor Jupiter came up. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, she might as well be in this movie too, because
I know.
And you know who survived? Sean Bean. He didn't die in this movie.
Right, that's right. I was very happy to see that he made it.
I was waiting for him.
He has broken.
Right.
Slaughtered.
Right. Because he dies in just about everything. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really seriously hoping that they would put a cameo in, the now defunct Spider-Man that we just had as his Uncle Ben, because he would already be dead. So, I mean, it sounds terrible, but come on.
That sounds really terrible, actually.
But at least we already know he's we didn't have to see him die, but we know that he dies. And I don't know, that could have been like a post-credit scene, like in memory of Uncle Ben, played by Sean Bean. So, yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
To a real one.
In my mind, in this MCU, Sean or Uncle Ben is played by Sean Bean. So, yes.
Okay, cool. I'm good with that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this movie here, whew, that was something. Like I saw the potential. I saw what it could be, and it would work much better if. Another problem I had, by the way, at one point when Kane, I almost called him Skyboy, when Kane was flying around and then he landed on the street and he had to make a stop, there was actually tire scratches or tire screech. I'm like, seriously? Mm-hmm. Your shoes are anti-gravity. You're not even touching the ground. Why are you making screeching noises on the road?
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it happened really quickly. And his feet, I don't think his feet touched the ground yet. And even still, it probably shouldn't have made that noise.
Yeah.
I mean, they're minor things, but they're things that I just happen to notice. Like, what just happened? Was that a tire scratch? What's going on? What are you doing? You're not in a car.
I was about to say I'm gonna have to watch it again. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, I think the only way I could bear it is if like we scheduled a live tweet. So then
and we can just rip it apart. Yeah.
Collectively rip it apart.
As a family.
As a family, I mean, definitely kudos to all because you made a movie. Congratulations, first of all. A lot of people got paid. A lot of people put in hard work. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you've got something to put on a resume. So congratulations. I'm praying and hoping that maybe open doors for better things that you are happy to talk about and share with the world. But this exists. It's here for you. It's here for someone. I don't know. It's quite the film. I felt like I had additional notes, but I don't remember what they are. Because I think you even mentioned it before about the cast. Like they had a really good cast. Eddie Redmayne. Yeah. For me, it's been weird. It's been a weekend of Eddie Redmayne. I watched Les Mis for the first time finally, so we'll have to have Bert back and talk about that. I did not know he was in that movie. I'm like, oh, Eddie Redmayne, can't miss that face.
And he did really well. I loved I thought he did really well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really one to say much because I'm like, well, it's Les Mis. Okay, now I know what it is and what it's all about, jumping through time and everything. Fantastic. Okay, that happened.
Well, it jumps forward through time. It doesn't jump all over the place.
It did. As we had discussed off mic in text form with Berto, that it was interesting to me that it just looked like Hugh Jackman de-aged throughout the 17 years total?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like he was aging backwards until it was time for him to actually die. I'm like, oh wow, when it's time for you to go, you really don't look well. So yeah. But I mean, good job again for the makeup crew. But this is a whole different production, different movie. And then the next Eddie Redmayne movie I watched was Fantastic Creatures or Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts, yeah.
And where to find them. So it almost felt like an Eddie Redmayne weekend. And I think the only one missing that I haven't seen that had a lot of buzz would be the one where he plays Stephen Hawking, and I cannot remember. The Theory of Everything. Yeah, that's I have not seen yet, which I'm still interested in seeing. But that's the only one missing from my Eddie Redmayne weekend.
You got to get on that.
I do. I mean, it was unscheduled, but that's the way the cards fell, I suppose. But yeah.
Well, you have 3 more days of vacation, so pitter patter.
Pitter patter, indeed. Lovely callback. Yeah. So, would you recommend anyone else watch this movie by any chance?
I don't know. Okay, so I would recommend it, but at your own risk. If you take heed and understand what you're getting into, and keep your expectations either low, really, really low, or non-existent, then I think you would be in for a fun evening.
Yeah, watch it with friends. We'll do that.
Watch it with friends, maybe with wine, pizza, other comforts of life. I feel like, because I went in with very low expectations because I had heard lots. So I went in with pretty low expectations, and it wasn't a completely miserable experience for me. I feel like if you go in thinking that, oh, the Wachowskis did it, cool, you know, I think you're gonna be a little disappointed because it's not really on par with their other work. So, in my opinion,
I mean, depending on how you feel about their other work, but yeah.
That's true. But I'm I'm a fan of their other work. Of course, the Matrix series, all 3 movies. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Sense8. And honestly, that's probably the extent of my experience with them.
I was going to ask if you've seen Cloud Atlas.
I don't want to watch that one. It seems a bit too heavy. I don't know. And I've heard mixed reviews on that one too. So I
mean, just the way you just said it's like, I don't want to watch it. Don't make me watch it. I don't want to do it. Yeah.
No, it's more so that one is a long one. I think it is actually like 3 hours.
It is a very long, and you feel the length, unlike.
And I don't. Yeah.
And
I've heard that
you feel it.
Right. I've heard that Cloud Atlas covers some pretty heavy topics, and I don't want to.
I can't even confirm or deny because I've seen it, but I can't tell you really how much I remember or retained. I think I may have watched it like within 2 days because I had other things to do. So yeah,
keeping it real.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very long movie. I just don't remember it, and I feel like I would be willing to revisit it because of how much it's involved. Like it took 3 directors, not just 2, but 3. Did
it really?
It did, yeah. Because of all the locations they shot, all the time periods it shot, and yeah, it was very vast, but also, like you said, it had mixed reviews. So some people, it may have been very vast, but maybe not very good. And the fact that I can't really remember, like I remember scenes, but they're scenes that you probably just see on the DVD box cover. So yeah. But yeah, I would give that a second try. I did give Speed Racer a second try, and Jupiter Ascending maybe in a year or so. Maybe I'll give that a second.
A whole year.
I mean, it depends. Again, like we said, if there's like some live tweet going on, I might jump in on that. But I need some time to process or forget, one or the other. Like maybe I was wrong. Maybe I needed to sit down and watch it and not be distracted by other things. Maybe. But because I watched this movie because of your imploring, I will do the same. And I texted you about it. You did not respond. Well, you said you didn't. I think you also said, I don't want to. But I told you have to do it for the culture. But I really want you to watch Acrimony.
Why?
I mean, you got through Jupiter Ascending, but Acrimony is on another level of like what is happening. And I crave your text messages to me in all capital letters of like I don't know, WTF or something. And like I want you to yell at me to send you more wine or something because of that happens.
Well, today was the day, and I've been having a lot of like WTF type days, including today. So maybe a watch of a movie that leaves you wanting. Maybe that's just what I need. Something like super crazy. Maybe that's what I need.
I think so, because there's like this age-old question that I say age-old, and the movie's going to look like 3 years old or something. But question that keeps coming up, and it was one of the many things that made me want to watch the movie, is people kept asking, how did she get on the boat? I'm like, what are you talking about? And that doesn't make any sense until you watch the movie. So I'm going to leave that to you. So I want that to be one of the answers that you look for when you do watch the movie. So as far as I know, it's still on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So it should be still available for you to watch. And then I will just sit patiently and wait for your response, and maybe we'll talk about it next episode.
Okay. Okay.
It'll be worth it because you'll be joining like another group or crowd or club of people who have survived this movie. And there's
I've been enjoying I've been enjoying seeing those who have watched it and how they've survived it. So I wasn't super eager to become part of that club, but
once you're a member, it's like you're part of like a family. Like, you understand me now, so kind of thing.
Okay, I hear you.
It has to be seen to be experienced. So then you understand what all of us have gone through, and we will welcome you. Yeah, you'll be welcomed. I'll even have to let Steph I will know that you'll be joining the family soon.
Okay.
All right. So
okay.
There is hope. We'll follow up. I mean, definitely I'll know, but like In Due podcast listeners will be following up in a couple weeks to see if she has survived the movie and her thoughts. But for now, we will wrap up this episode as we return to Earth and sanity. And yeah, and Jupiter Ascending is streaming on Netflix if you do want to give 2.5 hours of your life away and be confused and perplexed. So I want to say...
Do yourself a favor, folks.
Yeah,
do yourself a favor.
Yeah. Let us know if it's not just us. And I'm pretty sure it's not. But, I mean, Jupiter, she has always loved dogs. She's got a thing for dogs, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. That is Channing Tatum, by the way. I kept reminding myself, like, wait a second, this is Channing Tatum. Okay. All right.
He looked a bit different. They did pretty decent with his makeup as well. He and his like ears or whatever that look like elf ears. I don't know.
Well, he was part like wolf or dog or something. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
I don't know what the eyeliner was for.
He's a fashionable part wolf.
2 more notes before we close out because I just remembered. Why did he have wings? What was that for?
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he lost them. I don't know why he eventually got them back. I don't understand because if you're part wolf, wolves don't have wings.
Right. And apparently he must have given his shoes to Jupiter, and then Jupiter is like a Class A flying expert suddenly.
In 2.5 hours.
Right.
Literally. Ha!
Right. Yeah. Well done. My other point is Elephant Man. Just wanted to shout him out. He was one of the pilot of the ship. He looks like he's like part elephant because he's got like a very short snout and big ears. And again, this is something you'd probably catch during a rewatch. Should you ever want to rewatch this movie? They showed him at least twice. Because I actually did rewind because I'm like, let me rewind now because I'm not going to rewatch this movie later. But that man just have an elephant face. I'm like, okay, yes, he did. Okay. Moving on.
I missed that too. I don't know what you're talking about.
And Gugu Mbatha, I don't know how to say her name, but she was in this movie too.
Such a waste of talent.
I know.
And then she was like some kind of like deer hybrid, but it was so subtle. It was like, wait, does she have like antlers? Or
one man looked part owl, like he had an owl face. That was weird.
So I'm fine with like human animal hybrids, but I didn't understand the purpose or like why some were hybrids but others weren't. Because the siblings and the siblings that we talked about earlier, she said they are fully human. They just live for almost not forever, but they live a long, long, long time. So why are they full human, but the other humans are like hybrids? I don't get it.
So many questions. And again, questions that would be answered if this was like a mini series. You have as much time as you need to explore some of these things and develop the characters so we feel, for them. And if they have an fall in love, then we can believe it. Because, yeah.
Right. Because it hadn't been 2 seconds.
Right. It's like, oh, you just saved me from the building or the aliens that were... You don't even see those aliens again either. The ones that were actually look like, UFOs, aliens.
Right, yeah.
Those are clearly...
Yeah, because some aliens looked... Well, but, okay, so I understood the mix of... Well, maybe this is why there's a mix of, like, humans and human hybrids. Mm-hmm. But there were also, like, a mix of different looking, alien-looking creatures. Maybe it's because they're in deep space and they're from a civilization where they've explored and they've found a lot of like other races, other alien races and stuff. Mm-hmm. I just didn't understand
a lot.
I didn't. Huh?
So you didn't understand a lot.
Yes, that's the best way to say that. I didn't understand a lot.
Oh man.
Lord have mercy.
Anyway, I'm trying to wrap up the show, but there's just this movie is just so much.
Let's wrap it up.
Because we'll keep coming up with more questions and we don't have any answers.
And no answers, like none.
None. Where can people follow you?
So you can follow me on the Twitters at IamKHinton, where I'll be lamenting my time lost over watching Jupiter's Ascending, and the woes and joys of writing a novel from scratch.
Very good, very good. We'll be following. I follow you, so yes, I do see that on occasion when I am there, and also not lost in thought like, but where did he go? Why did he betray them? Follow me on all things at Indube, and go to Indube.com to find the T Public store for merch. And random question: do you have to pay for bags in Arkansas, like grocery bags, like a little charge?
You don't have to, but there's an option in some places.
Oh, okay.
Well, sometimes we just have the plastic bags.
But they're still free for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They charge you for your bag?
That's a new thing they just started here in Connecticut. So it's 10 cents a plastic bag, or bring in your reusable bag and, save some money.
I would just do a reusable bag and not pay. My mom uses reusable bags. Just by choice, just because she doesn't want to deal with the plastic, and I think it's less environmentally conscious than more convenience. Like, she just doesn't want to deal with all the plastic bags that she doesn't use. She just throws those away. So, so yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. Well, they're taxing it here in Connecticut. I mentioned that because the T Public or the Indube store does sell tote bags. So get you some.
Ooh, yeah.
And so you can not have to pay 10 cents when you go shopping for groceries or clothes. This happens at all stores. I was at a store that sold clothes, and they're like 10 cents a bag. I'm like, oh, right. You do that here too. Okay, cool. So, yeah. I'll just carry these out. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah. I don't need a bag.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a shoe. Yes, I'm good.
Right.
And no, I'm not buying just a shoe. I'm just making sure you people pay attention. That's all.
I caught it.
Good job. Ask us questions by emailing indubepod@gmail.com. You can also send comments and such like that if you want to give your opinion on Jupiter Ascending and what you thought of it. We will read it next episode. Please rate, comment, and share the pod on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and Podbean. Thank you so much for stopping by and pressing play. Tell someone you value that you value them. Live without regrets and live for the folks you love. I've been your benevolent host, T. Sterling Watson, who will sometimes torture you by making you watch Jupiter Ascending. And remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off. Stay fresh, she's back.
No!
Not Jupiter! No! I'm descending.
I've always loved dogs.
The Indube Indube Podcast is recorded in a studio somewhere on planet Earth. The Indube Podcast is part of the Indube Network, and if you'd like to get in contact with the Indube Podcast, please email indubepod@gmail.com. That is indubepod@gmail.com. You can find the Indube Podcast on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, and of course Podbean, or wherever podcasts may be procured. If you'd like to find out more information, please visit indube.com, where you can find our store, the blog, and of course our Patreon if you'd like to support and donate and find more perks and fun things to listen to and watch. For Chief, DJ Joe Daddy, Bilford, this is T. Sterling Watson signing off. Thank you so much for listening. Use your words, Chief. Good boy. This has been another 3SFX production.